So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Bait versus Hellraisers for the Dota 2 Champions League 2021-2022. And let's see who's going to be able to come out on top of this. Bait are desperately after some points. They've only managed to take one victory so far in this group stage, and that was against QWERTY, who themselves are doing pretty terribly. Well, let's see that hopefully they'll be able to bounce back, get some points, because they've got our boy Dendy, and we always want to see Dendy do well. He's in our hearts. And that's what we were after. But I'm sure Hellraisers can have different ideas of that. They've been performing quite well so far this tournament themselves, so it's looking like it, well, statistically it's looking bad for them, but who knows how it's going to start. And they're going to lead things off immediately with the Keeper of the Light pickup. One of the most meta heroes so far. All the other current big meta players have already been taken out. The Sven, the Night Stalker, the Pango, as well as the Beastmaster, instantly removed, but the Cole does make it through. Is always going to be something that slips through the cracks. Maybe Hellraisers might just immediately grab the Lina now, as that is still a very popular hero to grab. Actually, I say that. Hellraisers has not picked up Lina a single time so far this patch, so maybe they're not even bothered about going for that hero at all. Don't know what other sort of classic openers they got. They picked up the Omni Knight before, but I mean, the Sven's already taken, so trying to go down the Omni Knight route probably isn't going to be worth it. They're already eating into their reserve time. Maybe they're expecting to get the Cole pick themselves. Instead, they're going to grab the bat as well with a Spirit Breaker. All right, we got the Space Cow out. Let's see what they're going to do with it. I mean, unless this is LGD and they're going to put the Spirit Breaker into the mid lane, probably not. I don't know if that's really meta. Because I think on the actual win rate of when LGD was doing this, they'd only won like 50% of their games of it. It was really weird. But hey, they've got it on the board. I mean, it's most likely going to fall into the hands of Zayak, I imagine, for the position 4. And then Rebel most likely going to take the Bat Rider mid. But I mean, there is every chance that this Bat Rider could be flexed to either on the mid or the off lane. Completely depends on what Bait's lineup is going to be. They're actually going to grab the Void Spirit themselves. Okay, that's a very early Void pickup. I suppose then at the same time, it was an early Bat grab as well. So I suppose if these two are already going to be in the mid, it's... I mean, it's still Bat Rider favoured for sure, but at least with the Void Spirit, you'll have to dissimulate to maybe try and dodge out a lot of the damage from like the Firefly Napalm stacks. But even still, when you're slowed to hell, the dissimulate can only get you so far. So it's already a rough pick if that is going to be the mid lane matchup. Like, Dendy's going to struggle. Obviously, that can still change around. This could very well be like a position for Void for all we know, and then they might move the Kotl to the 5. I mean, you never really see Kotl 5 anymore. He's like exclusively a 4 nowadays. Sometimes a mid if you're a Tundra player and you like to just ruin the game by buying Dagons and making it miserable for everybody else. Even still, the Shadow Demon and the Mirana get banned out there from Bait. I think the Mirana's actually... Yeah, Mirana's a common pick for Hellraisers, so it definitely makes sense banning that, as well as the Shadow Demon, actually. So just focusing towards position 4s. So if they're banning out the 4s for Zayak, then maybe they're thinking that this is a core Spirit Breaker then. Maybe Pasha plays the Spirit Breaker, actually. I mean, it's hard to tell because this is actually the first time that Hellraisers have even grabbed the hero so far in this patch. So maybe they don't even know what they're going to be doing with it. It's an interesting pick, especially so early on. The Omni Knight still actually gets banned out there from Hellraisers, despite the fact that the Sven's been taken out the pool. I don't know if that was really necessary. I don't know. I mean, they banned out the Slark. Obviously, the Slark's just really good against Bat Rider and Spirit Breaker, because if the Bat tries to go for Lasso, your Dark Pact will just purge that away. Sort of similar situation with the Spirit Breaker. You see him charging at your face, same ability, purge off the stun, and you easily just fuck off into the trees. So it's a pretty wise ban, taking that one out of there. There are other heroes like the PL and stuff that can evade at the same time. But PL's not quite up as high meta so far. So probably won't see that come about. Also, the Clinks did get banned. I don't know how I feel about Clinks so far this patch. Like, the Burn and Barrage does seem really strong. It can pump out a ridiculous amount of damage. Especially seeing as how it has... attack modifier effects like Maelstrom and stuff applied to it is ridiculous. But I think you have to have the right team composition to go with it. Like, Dark Seer or something like that. A way to force the enemy to group up and actually get good use out of it. But even still, Bait are a little bit afraid of it, so they remove it already. And the Faceless Void get taken out there from Hellraisers. Interesting ban. And then they're going to grab the Abaddon. So I suppose, in a way, this Abaddon pick is also a deny. Because if you stop Bait from getting this hero, they don't have an easy way of saving anybody from the Flame and Lasso. So I really like that pickup, actually. Especially seeing as how the Shadow Demon, which is another sort of good save to a Batrider, has already been removed. So Bait are already lacking heroes in being able to save whoever gets hit from this Batrider. Unless maybe they want to go down like the Oracle route, but Oracle was really dropped off as well. This hero just never surfaces anymore. So I'm not sure what Bait can actually pick up instead as a different save mechanic. As again, obviously the Omni Knight as well that has his natural purge, the Heavenly Grace, also gone. Is there any other ones that like force, like do dispels onto teammates? I don't think there is. I mean, there is things like Outworld Devourer, of course, but that would just be weird. Seems like you've already got a Void Spirit, and he's not really in the meta anymore. Despite the fact that I think his shard is strong, the way at Astral Imprisonment people can move in it, it's just pretty bonkers. Even still, just this third pick to come out from Bait. I'm sure they've probably got a game plan of where they want to put this Void Spirit. I don't know if they want to commit it to the mid up against the Bat. So they've still got flex now. So they're probably going to aim to grab their other support here for Gatsy. And it is going to be the Undying. Okay, so if it is an off-lane Spirit Breaker or position 4, then the Undying is going to be able to do a pretty good job at bullying him out. Obviously, Decay, always a fantastic means of dealing with Strength Cores. Not only reducing HP, but reducing damage at the same time. Easily able to win any sort of trades in that regard. And this also, with this pick, it does sort of limit possible options that Hellraisers can do for their offlane. Because if now they grab another like Strength Core for the offlane, then the Undyings can have a fantastic time. Like just stealing everything, bullying everyone to hell. So maybe they might have to go for some sort of different pickup because of that. Even still, what's Bait going to go with this fourth pick? Probably going to be... Well, now it's going to... Maybe they actually grab their position 1 before the hero pool gets limited even further. But it's kind of hard because Hellraisers haven't shown what they want. And they've used up like all of their reserve time already. Not giving themselves much to work with at all. And they decided to go with the Luna. I think this is actually just a safe pick. Like, Watson likes to go with this hero. And obviously, as we all know, Luna was just absolutely everywhere about a month ago or so. She was in nearly every single game. Definitely has dropped off a little bit, but she wasn't really changed too much in the way that she's unplayable anymore. So they're going to still feel comfortable picking this hero up. So they've either left their Dendy's hero or their offlane hero to pick up. Just depends where they want to put this Void. You know, Hellraisers, I suppose they're probably going to grab their own position 1 now. And now they know that they're going to be playing up against the Luna. What do they actually want to go to playing up against the Luna then? Oh, like the sort of standard counters to her were. I mean, Luna's one of those heroes where they don't have any, like, obvious counter at all. She's always still kind of strong. Doesn't just get completely obliterated by one hero getting picked up. And just have a look what other sort of position 1 Hellraisers have picked up so far in this patch. And they are going to go for the PL. And they've grabbed that once before. They didn't win with it, but they've grabbed it. And PL is kind of interesting, because obviously the Glaives from the Luna can sort of deal with its illusions, but it just sort of depends on how farmed he is at the time. Like, I think if they've got equal farm, the Luna's fine with it. She can actually, like, kill him off relatively easily in, like, the mid-game area. But when it starts getting towards the later portions of the game, then the Luna can start to get bullied out a little bit. So maybe they're under, like, a slight timer from that. So... Just a off-laner left to pick up here from Hellraisers. And it looks like Hellraisers think it's just an off-lane as well. So I'm guessing they are going to... They're guaranteeing that this is going to be a mid-Void Spirit then if they're banning out the Sand King. Which does make sense, but which they're very happy as well. Obviously, as I said, Bat Rider versus Void is always going to be in the Bat's favour.
5 seconds remain.
And this is where that sort of indecisiveness earlier on is starting to screw bait over. They just have no reserve time to really think about what their bans in this last pick is going to be. And they've even got the disadvantage right now. They have to pick their mid before Hellraisers do. So Hellraisers are going to have the opportunity to get a better counter pick, as well as having a bit more reserve time to work with, so they can really cherry pick the correct hero here. Looks like Bay actually was covering their bases. They didn't only ban the Darkseer, but they also got rid of the Lina. So maybe they're just unsure about where this bat is actually going to end up itself, whether it might be the mid or the off lane. They're just not too sure. They actually go for a Legion Commander themselves. Okay, so it's definitely a hero that can deal with the Bat Rider. Maybe this is actually going to be in the hands of Dendi for the mid. Because you use your you press the attack, you purge off all the Napalm stack, so he's able to do the turn. Or if it's like in more of a supportive sort of style role, then you can always play reactionary to get the save onto anyone who gets hit by the Flaming Lasso. So it's a very nice pickup. I do like it. It looks like they do have a fair decent amount of tempo here, but I mean, it makes sense that it would be an offlane Legion Commander. Oh, wait, they grabbed the Viper. Okay. Okay, so immediately the Legion Commander does go into the offlane. Dendi is taking the Void for the mid. But it looks like Rebel is playing the Bat Rider for the mid as well. So, yeah, still got that same matchup. And then Pasha on the Viper. And that's pretty nice hero pickup, because then it can actually deal with the harassment coming up from the Undying. You just turn around with a couple of the poison stacks, you just chuck them on top of the Undying, force him to run away. So really, Zayak's the only one that will struggle in that lane. Yeah, so Pasha should be pretty fine. Watson, obviously Luna does have kind of a bad attack range, so she may be susceptible to getting bullied from the Viper. But obviously Pasha will have to end up spending a lot of money on Mangoes to just keep the magic spam going on. Meanwhile, the offlane here, from Bait, you've got the Legion Commander as well as the Keeper of the Light. So you've always got a decent amount of burst damage going into the duel. Just the Illuminate whacked into whoever is stuck there. But obviously, Resolution's going to have Ladon sat behind him most of the time. So if you can actually get the Aphotic Shield off in time to cancel out the duel, or at least give him the protection for it, it would be pretty nice. Even just dueling the Abaddon feels kind of rough, because if he has his ultimate online, you're going to do absolutely nothing at all. So this LC pickup is literally just to counteract the Bat Rider drag. They needed some way of dealing with it. I suppose their options were limited. It was the best they could have done. Not that I'm saying it's bad, but it doesn't feel like super great either. But even still, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for game number one between Bait and Hellraisers. Not quite sure which lineup I'm particularly leaning towards. Like, both of these two teams don't have any of those sort of common big team fight ultimate abilities to play around. Really, Bait, I suppose, have the most with the Eclipse and the good old Disco Ball if SA eventually decides to build an Aghanim Scepter. Depends if they're actually going to need it. I suppose they might, because otherwise they don't have like a significant amount of lockdown in these fights. Yeah, all they're going to have is an Aether Remnant grab, as well as the Jewel from the LC. That is literally the only stuns they have. I suppose the Beam from the Luna counts, but it's only a mini stun. Not exactly reliable. Meanwhile, sort of similar situation on Hellraisers. The Spirit Breaker can, if he's lucky, get a huge amount of stun lockdown. But then again, they're limited to just the Flaming Lasso from Bat Rider. So both teams are actually lacking a significant amount of CC this game. Also, the one benefit, and they actually both have a BKB piercing disable, like Jewel and Flaming Lasso. So maybe that might be enough to deter most teams from building like an early BKB. They might just decide to avoid it, perhaps. I'm sure it sort of depends on what kind of build Bait are going to build for. And they actually have a pretty decent mixture of physical as well as magical damage. The Luna does a good bit of both. The LC is pretty much exclusively physical, and the Void Spirit's majority of magic damage as well. So it's a very healthy mix between them. And I wonder if anyone's going to do a cheeky first blood play. Not many teams really do that nowadays. Sometimes you see him attempt it and it ends up failing miserably. So we'll see if anyone's got the gall to do it. Looks like already stuck with very long pause. I remember when I was casting bait the other day, it was about 15 minutes worth of pauses. So let's just hope that it's not another repeat. Were they the ones that paused it as well? It was. No, it was Hellraisers that paused. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Only a little bit, though. Okay, now they're saying go. Has anyone actually got a smoke? Yeah, okay, Ladon's got a smoke, so maybe they are going to go for like a first blood play. No smoke here for bait, so they're going to be looking to play defensively, I guess.
Resumes. But will it follow the same thread?
Actually, is it extremely early smoke usage? So normally when you pop a smoke this early on, you're just using it as movement speed bonus to get out to the lane as fast as you can to drop those wards. Because by the time you actually get anywhere, it's going to run out. Like, it's already on half duration. It looks like bait are actually expecting some sort of aggressive play here. So all 5 of them moving into their own jungle. But yeah, it doesn't look like Hellraisers are really going to try anything else. Just dropping down these wards. They're not going to get the lane ward probably like here. Maybe on the other side. No, he dropped it right there, actually. Interesting choice. But bait, actually, not even needing the smoke. They're going straight up to the high ground now. They do see Zyax, but they have no disables. Where's your long-range stuns? Absolutely none. Zyax just sees them and goes, okay, bye-bye. Just walks off. I thought SA saw him there.
30 seconds and counting.
Already getting down the sentry ward to block out the small camp, as well as actually a very deep observer ward. Don't normally see a ward in this sort of position at this stage in the game. I suppose it will spot if Hellraisers are going to make any early stacks they could possibly steal. Rebel already realising that that block will come out, cancels it out himself. Well, looks like Ladon going to try and contest this bounty rune up top.
10 players compete.
Zyke just getting bullied off the one in the triangle.
Glory.
The LC actually wins the clicker war, even though the Don just going to try and out-trade him. So I think it's the first time in a long time that it's actually been 3-1 on the bounty exchange. So that is actually already a 400 gold swing. Because not only do you give your whole team 200 gold, but you also deny it from the other squad. So 400 gold is a pretty big chunk of money. Look at it, all very aggressively positioned already. I guess they're trying to see if either Pash or Zyax stepped really far out. Maybe they could have gone for a first blood, but they all decide against it. And SA just has to TP back up towards the top. Goddamn Illuminate spam already. Absolute joke. This is what Ladon's just going to be doing the whole time. Just constantly chase the Kotl. Make sure you can't just get these really safe Illuminate spams. Make him pay for it as much as you possibly can. But, I mean, in this mid, we're expecting Rebel to win. Because, obviously, it's just a very favourable matchup. So we'll see how Dendy's going to be able to perform. In his previous games, he's won the mid. Even when he's had a bad matchup, but he just crumbles after the laning phase. So let's see if he's remedied that problem or not. Meanwhile, Gatsy, he is just charging at Pasha, minus 12 on the strength. Got plus 12 selves on the beam. It gets the grab. That's just the dead Viper. Easy first blood for Watson. And very nice. That's just the power of the Undying. You just run at people. Very unfortunate. If he just decided to go up north between those trees rather than down south, he would have survived. But hey, I guess he just wasn't expecting Watson to come charging out of the creep wave. It's very rare that a position 1 will sacrifice creeps for the attempt of a kill. Oh, Dendy tried to go for a nice pull there. It would have actually ended up doing a fair bit of damage to Rebel. Not so successful. Actually, still pretty even in terms of CS. Obviously, Rebel with a slight lead, 93. Does go for a Firefly play, but had no more mana to work with at all, and Denny was really far away from it. Does get another pull, but not really going to be able to do anything with that. Will just be a trade for the water runes. So actually, I just saw Pasha's CS is terrible. And he also gets hit a little bit, but yeah, Pasha's only 3-0 for 2.5 minutes in. It just shows the power of this Undying, able to bully him away quite easily. Zyax can try his best to make some space for his Viper, but is this the downside of when you're a melee hero trying to play up against an Undying? It's always a rough trade. He's even holding his second point. Depends if he wants to go for either the Soul Rip or the Tombstone. And Zyax's getting so lucky with these bashes. Rolling that 17% to the max, boys. To the max. That is quite actually a scary bit of burst damage there from this off lane of bait. Press the attack into the illuminate. If you're not careful and you get hit by that, it will just wreck you.
Goodness no.
Not for you.
So everyone else's CS is still relatively even.
Scanning for enemies.
Dendy's actually doing a hell of a lot better than I was expecting. 15-3 to the 18-5 of Rebel. Pretty much neck and neck in terms of net worth as well. So not too bad. Meanwhile, the Viper and Resolution is starting to drop behind a little bit. It is still early days. Oh, meanwhile, down bottom, they're actually making a move here onto Watson. Zyke needs a bash. He needs a bash. Oh, maybe that last hit from Pasha will actually tick him down. No, he jukes through the trees, but he still has the vision. He just gets the bash to finish him off. Pasha will die for this. Zyke might die as well. He's got an army of zombies on him and has to just go for the TP out, and he will make that one. Meanwhile, up top, the Don died. Oh, no, he actually sacrificed himself to the tower. So disregard that one. That doesn't count. But even still, I think Hellraisers are happy with that trade. Like, they killed Watson before, so it was only Gatsy that got, like, the solo golden experience, which doesn't feel great. He's even going to deny himself here. Oh, but Zayak! He's actually going to get the experience of that one. Wow, he was not expecting him to be there. The power of the Spirit Breaker just charging straight past. Free experience. Nice stuff. Now, actually, Watson is starting to drop behind in CS himself. After that death, and has been a lot of fighting going on. And if you're fighting, you're not CSing. Actually, he's just so scared of even getting close to the creep wave. He's having to just sit behind the trees and only farm with Lucent Beam. Obviously, it's very difficult to try and step out when your position 5 is just nowhere to be seen. And you could just get charged into Nether Toxin, Poison Spam. It'd be very, very painful. Oh, Gatsy. I guess he didn't get the spot there onto that courier. Could have got a free grab there. The safe is not going at all how Bait wanted it to go. They're actually just dive onto him behind the tower here. The tombstone does get dropped, but Pasha immediately focusing onto it. It's going to die pretty quickly. Actually, they change direction. They don't finish off the tombstone. They hit onto the Undying instead, who's just going to stand on the ground, gets another decay off stack, gets a bit of strength, still falls, but at least he trades off with Pasha. And Zyke now is going to have to try and retreat. He should be able to make that out, juking through the trees. Unless he gets... Oh, he's already put the salvage, gets immediately cancelled. He's trying to gamble here with the bash. He's not getting lucky. It's like, go for the charge away. And no more final right clicks there from Watson. Could not get the range. So it ends up being a trade, which Bait will definitely take that time round. And also just getting beaten into a little bit, but he's able to stand the ground with the press the attack. Very difficult to try and shape with that one. But still in this mid, it's super, super even. Only 3 CS separating the two of them. And still neck and neck in net worth as well. Neither one pulling ahead at all. I mean, Dendy has actually queued up a bottle, but this is a very late bottle. Really late, actually. Kind of surprised he's still going to bother going for it after 6.5 minutes in.
Illusion.
Rebel able to just get a little sneaky grab onto the bounty rune as well. Farm it up. Make use of the extra charges. And talking about charges, the LC is getting run out himself up top. I don't think there's anything that Hellraisers could actually do to get this kill. Ladon and Resolution are both very low on HP and mana. So I'm guessing this is just going to be for space. Yeah, Zyle's just going to push him away. Actually, never mind. Rebel's also got involved here. The Illuminator's going to do a bit of damage, but it doesn't matter. The Flame Lash is going to impact, but Dendy's actually getting involved himself. They're going to try and turn this around. The press the attack from the LC. He stands his ground. Nice use of the dash damage from the Void Spirit. Rebel gets pretty low. Another jump forward to the Astral Step. Double kill for Dendy. But now he's out of resources. He does still have a Dissimulate. The Illuminate spam point blank hits onto Resolution. His Doppelganger is still on cooldown. The Ephraim misses, but doesn't matter. Dissimulate's going to hit. Triple kill. And they even get the pawns on the Don. This could be a quad for Dendy. One more hit's all it's going to need. He gets it. Ultra kill for Dendy at 7.5 minutes in. Oh my days. And just like that, very comfortable at top of net worth now. 3.6k gold. Level 8 as well. That was absolutely fantastic. And all they lost for that was the Legion Commander. And they get 4 kills. That could not have gone better. And now Hellraisers probably quaking their boots after that engagement. Zayak, fortunate enough there to dodge the Ether Remnant, goes around the tree. So well played from him. I don't think he would have died there anyway. It's still a difficult kill to find. Ladon looking for this free kill onto Dendy's courier. I have no idea why he was here. Why was his courier with his bottle as well? Oh, that's unfortunate. I think in the chaos of that fight, he must have accidentally clicked onto his courier. Pulled it in. Oh, man. See, even pros make mistakes like that, guys. So don't feel bad when you do that in your pubs. It does happen. Oh, Gatsy, I think it's just a free kill down bomb. Viper striking over with him. Even just going to feed away a free tombstone. Actually, wants some TPs in it. He wants to try and turn this kill around. Does drop the Eclipse immediately, but Pasha's hiding in the trees. The Foggy can't get the connection. He's trying to juke as well. There's a loose beam up the cooldown, but still, Zayak blocks him. Pasha is going to be able to get out of this. TP off for the cooldown. The charge from Zayak, making the space. And Pasha's actually able to make it out. Very nicely done there from Hellraisers. Just ends up being a massive waste of time for Watson as well. Not able to find anything. But now that the LC is 6, I'm sure they're going to be looking to try and get some nice duel victories on the board here. Start ramping up that damage. The only thing is, normally when you've got like a Legion Commander, you like to pair it up with like some massive burst damage, which the Illuminate does tick that box, but it's not quite as much of like a big bomb, say, as a Mystic Flare from a Skywrath Mage or anything like that. Still strong amount. Actually go for a 2-man smoke here. Dendy and Gatsy. I'm not sure where it is they're going to be going, heading off to. Actually going to go towards the top to try and link up with the LC. Like I said, going to look to try and get this first duel victory on the board here. And this will be an easy one. Poor Oladon, only halfway towards his level 5. This man is dead for sure. The LC just has to make sure he doesn't pop his duel too soon. They really want that victory.
You're more alive than most mortals will ever be.
And I think he's dead now. He's going for it. Jump forwards there. There's the duel. The Illuminate. Oh, the Illuminate didn't actually get that kill. I thought I would have found the last hit there. But even still, duel victory on the board. Tier 1 tower going to fall down as well. And their own tier 1 in the bot lane still relatively healthy. And now SA's is going to burrow himself down in here. Constantly pushing the creep wave off. Farming up himself. So Bay are actually in a very comfortable position now for this game.
There is little hope for Radiant's middle tower.
Rebel actually has his bots online himself with a double damage. It looks like they're actually going to dive the tier 1 tower here. SA, unfortunately, I don't think he stands a chance with this one. And does look like anyone else from the side of Bait is going to even bother coming over here to try and defend their Cottle. They will just sack him. And with the help of the catapult, they will end up taking down that tier 1 tower. Maybe Dundee can actually do a bit of damage to the tier 1 himself in this mid lane. And there is going to be a charge here from Zayak. Decides against it though. Just wants to drag the creep wave away. And they will then just end up getting the catapult killed. So yeah, it does a pretty good job of that charge. Ooh, they actually kept it alive. The LC tanks it. Actually, would have pressed the attack on him, ramps up its attack speed, heals it up a little bit. So there's a nice combo. It's sort of like dropping an alacrity on it. And this tier 1 will just fall. So again, another favourable trade there for Bait. They lose their tier 1 at the bot, but that holds very little strategical value when compared to a mid lane tower. But it's actually Pasha who's now sat at the top of the net worth. He's nearly got his Rod of Atos. Actually, no, he's got it finished now. Just got delivered on the courier. And immediately, they go for this 3-man smoke move. Dendy is the one farming up here in this mid. He's going to show himself. Oh, he even used the Dissimulate, so he can't use it defensively. And that's just a dead man for sure. All the soul up stuns. Actually, the Soul Rip was there to give him a little bit of healing, but they have to actually commit the Flame and Lasso to get the kill. So Gatsy actually forced them to use the extra ability. This wasn't too bad. What's up, Prodigy? Welcome to the show, man. Oh, Gatsy, go for the TP. Oh, the charge from Zayak, not soon enough. He's still going. What? Okay, he just used it to get to the bounty. Fair enough. I thought he was going to go all the way to the base then. The balls on this breaker, man. And the LC going straight in for the Blink Dagger build. So not deciding to get like a Blade Mail or Armlet More Digging, anything like that. Just sort of going to rely on the damage from his teammates at the early parts of the game to help secure him those victories. Which, I mean, it can be a decent amount of bursts. Like I said, with the help of the Cottle as well as the Luna, they can find those kills.
A doodle for the ages.
But it's not like there's really a squishy hero on the side of Hellraisers. Both of their supports are two very tanky men. Obviously, Abaddon's borrowed time will just save him from the duel. The Spirit Breaker sat nearly at 12k HP, a load of armor. Also could have the stat resistance online. So a very difficult game to find duel victories indeed. Dendi is trying to close in towards the Ags. He's halfway towards it. Only 1900 gold left. Oh, I think he just got the spot there onto Zyax there because of the daytime vision. I don't really want to jump on that hero. Oh, we'll just go straight in for the BKB. It's about 1200 gold away from it. No team's really putting too much emphasis on aggressive plays just yet. As I'm sure Bait probably would be if it wasn't for this support duo.
Denied.
But it just makes it very, very difficult. And this is sort of the problem, like what I said in the drafting phase. Dendi's had a fantastic start. He had pretty good CS in the lane versus a Bat Rider and had an ultra kill at the start. And yet, he's already dropped off to second worst position in the cause. It just keeps on happening. Ladon does walk up high ground into him. They probably should still find this kill there with the Ether Remnant pullback. It takes a little while to find it. Oh, the jewel as well. They even get the actual plus bonus damage for this. So yeah, that's quite a nice little extra.
So much.
But yeah, like, I just don't know how this keeps happening to Dendi. Look, he's right at the bottom again after laning phase. This man just spends so much time roaming around the map just looking for kills. He does not farm at all. Maybe look at that. He sees Zyax and he's immediately making a beeline up towards the top, even though it's a pretty difficult kill to find. Don't know if Watson's even going to end up bumping into him here. Actually, Zyax might walk into him. Oh no, Watson gives up just as he was about to like walk into each other. So not going to be able to find that one. Meanwhile, SA just doing his own standard farming thing. Actually still behind the Spirit Breaker, which I'm very surprised about. Normally a Kotl's farm would just be considerably higher at this point. As long as if he's just sitting himself in this dead lane. Not stealing the farm away from his actual cause. Just going to take this free gold, which has been pushed in from the Viper. The BKB is actually nearly on 9 here for Rebel. Only 150 gold away. And it looks like Bait going to try and find this kill if they can. He goes to the side, the blink dagger forwards, but Rebel, he gets up to the high ground. He's away. Fortunately, gank failed there from the side of Bait. Even if they got that duel connection, I don't know if they would have had the damage to get the victory in the duel. With just the Undying and the Kotl nearby. Then is he going to get lucky with the rune? It spawns down bottom. The charge actually still getting committed here from Zyax. But still, they don't quite want to follow up. Even dragging Roshan out of the pit. But still actually Bait poking onto him. With that bulldozer, it's a very, very, very difficult kill to find. And even the solar bind just lasts hardly any time at all against the stat resistance bonus. And actually go for a sneaky smoke play themselves. And their target is Watson. And he is all alone. He's going to need to help coming from the rest of his team fast if he wants any hope of surviving this. And I don't think it's going to be enough. He's getting stun controlled way too much. Both Rebel and Resolution on top of him. They find the kill. It looks like the LC came over to try and help out. Not going to be able to find it. Now Rebel coming in from the side. He gets the lasso connection onto the LC. He's going to drag it back into the rest of the teams. He's the only one to be able to purge it off. The Soul Rip trying to keep him alive. It's not enough. He still ends up dropping. So double kill. Or just 2 kills found there for Hellraiser. Taking out the 1 and the 3 of Bait. So they're just slowly whittling away at the side of Bait. Gaining their advantage bit by bit. And even like both the mid and the off lane outpacing the Luna quite badly at the moment. At least she's ahead of the Resolution, who hasn't really been having a great time farming himself. You put money on Bait? Well, it's not looking too bad. Oh, yeah, well, after that engagement, it is looking bad. But I mean, that's a risky bet, man. I bet the payoff's probably quite high. Decent odds on that trade. Oh, Zyax. Oh, his TP nearly completed there. The duel just came in. I don't think they'd be able to get the victory. Oh, it literally just ended as he died. That was so close to some free bonus damage there. Very, very unlucky for the LC. Watson? He just walked right past the ward. Why didn't he kill the ward? What? What? Just allowing the other team to have free vision of the area. Interesting play. Now he's going to see it. He's going to run past it, right? Don't ignore it again, Watson. Okay, there you go. You got it. Good, good, good. Very important kill, wards. But still, like, Dendi as well as the LC just right at the bottom of the core net worth. It's literally just like the farms, the support farm that is actually keeping this sort of gold differential somewhat balanced. Apart from that, they would be very much behind by now. At least they've got this Axe online for Dendi though, so it's got a nice little power buff. They want to try and look to set up some kills. Not been a single bit of item progression for the LC for a very long time. And no one's actually going to step out of position there for Hellraisers. But they're actually going to go for a smoke play themselves. Moving into their own jungle. There is actually the Observer Ward here from Bait. So they will have the vision advantage, but they actually just skirt past each other. They must have been so close to popping each other's smokes. But now actually, immediately Bait go into the pit and the smoke instantly on top of all of them. The Molotov there pushes them out of it, as well as the Never Toxin. Going to do some damage towards the Rod Datos, holding Gatsy in. This will just be a dead Undying for sure. These guys tombstone off. It doesn't matter. The LC quickly gets traded off as well. 2 deaths for Bait. The tombstone falls. And now there is no way that they can take this fight. They have to try and disengage. But SA is actually probably going to get ran down for Rebel as well as Zayak. 3 deaths. And now, Roshan... yeah, I suppose they can't actually kill it themselves. They don't have quite the DPS to find that one just yet in this pointless game.
Normally.
Actually TPing him. Maybe they want to try and find resolution. Then he jumping forwards. Can he guess the right one? He's going to go for the correct one. He even gets a silence, but it doesn't matter. There is the purge from the Abandoned, giving him some safety. But it doesn't matter. The burst damage too much. They get the kill. Double kill for Watson. But now he's in the spot of bother. Zayak as well as Pasha on top of him. The press the attack from the LCs, keeping Watson alive. They even get the duel victory. Watson, he's still going in. He didn't decide to run. Pasha dodges out the Remnant. I think it's just a matter of time before he dies here. He makes him waste a few extra seconds. I don't know why Watson decided to carry on hitting. He could have ran and probably survived that. I don't know. It seems weird, but even still, that is the first trade for a very long time that Bait have actually come out ahead. 4 kills for 1. 2k gold swing. About 3,500 experience as well. So it puts them back on the board for sure. And it did actually put Watson at top of net worth, despite the fact he did die. He's got Mask of Madness, Manta, Dragon Lance, trying to work into the BKB next item. I said, wow. I just noticed he's even got the Philly Stone. On top of Kotl, one of the fastest farming supports in the game, this man is going to be rich very quickly. And he did actually decide to go for the Disco Ball, which I like. Because as I was saying at the very start of this game, they are lacking actually any sort of control. It was just the Jewel and the Ether Remnant that they had to rely on. So now they actually have this big AoE lockdown. They will make the team fights a hell of a lot easier for them. It also works super well with the Tombstone because obviously it pulls people away from it, keeps the Tombstone alive for like a few extra seconds, which can actually make all the difference. And they actually are going to go for a 4-man smoke here, leaving Watson out of it just to carry on farming up. And see who they're going to find. Will they actually get the spawn to Rebel? The jump forwards there from the LC. This should be a dead Bat Rider. Is it going to be enough damage to get the kill on the Jewel? It is. They find the grab. Nice triple stun from Zayak. And the Disco Ball gets dropped just to find this kill onto the Spirit Breaker. And a kill it will be. So 2 deaths there for Hellraisers. And it looks like maybe Bait want to go into the Roche Pit yet again. Yeah, they are going to go for it. It definitely feels like a better decision this time round, seeing as how there's actually some people dead on Hellraisers. And it drops so quick, in fact. Damn. So they give this to Dendi or Watson, I wonder? It looks like they're going to give it to Watson. They're both crowded on top of it. Who wins the clicking war? Watson gets the grab. Okay. So, Aegis in the Luna. Makes a lot of sense. That's really, Dendi is... He's just there to be a disruption right about now. I guess he's not really meant to survive too long. As long as he gets both of his silences off and, you know, pops all of his skills... It's negligible whether he really survives. Still, how's the farm of Resolution going this game? S&Y, Hood, into Diffusal Blade. He is actually progressing quite nicely on his items. Working towards the to the heart of Tarask as his next, which will make this man very survivable. We've not really seen him get involved that much because, I mean, he is a PL. He's just meant to spend the majority of the game farming up, progressing his own game. And that looks like a sketchy link there, PV Rooney. I don't know if I'm ever going to click on that link, Mr. Botman. Sketchy links, man. Sketchy links. But a 4-man smoke coming out here from Hellraisers. They're going to move down towards the bot, but literally this whole area has been completely vacated from bait. They've just swapped to the other side of the map. So it's like they knew that move was coming out. Maybe they're going to try and pressure the tier 2 if they can. There is a glyph available for Hellraisers to delay it if they want to try and defend. But maybe they're just going to settle for taking a tier 1. But even still, I think Bait would be happy with that trade. Like, the tier 1 survived up till 24 minutes into the game. It's pretty damn long. But no one else is actually helping Watson beat into this tower. Just sat behind playing it very defensively. A glyph at the last second to keep it alive. And Zayak, where's he charging to? Runs past quite a few members of Bait. No one wants to get involved. Meanwhile, Rebel actually does get the grab here onto Watson, pulling it back in. He drops the Eclipse. And that is going to be his first life used. Now he's not going to have Clips. And can the rest of Bait get her in time to save him? The disco ball is going to make a bit of space for Watson, but even still, he's dropping way too quickly. He's still going to die here. Actually, no, the heals! It's a lot. It's kept him alive. He's trying to run away from this. The Jewel even going to hold back Pasha. This might be enough to keep him alive. And now Watson, with his BKB, is going to turn around. And this is a disaster for Hellraisers. They were not expecting this. A triple kill for Watson finds all of them in a matter of a second. And Resolution has to just run away. They were not expecting this at all. And now there's no glyph available here for Hellraisers. They've got a creep wave right outside the tier 3. This is going to be a very easy high ground siege. And what can Hellraisers do? I mean, they can possibly do a buyback onto the Spirit Breaker, but even then, I don't think it's going to be enough. They need the Viper to actually take these fights. And this is a set of barracks. At 25 minutes in, oh, Dendy jump in. Tried to get the grab there onto Rebel. They probably would have found that kill if the Ether Remnant got the connection. Instead, Resolution just walks into it himself. He's trying to drain away the mana of Watson, and they might actually have just been enough to force him away and kept their set of barracks alive. Okay, so not quite as bad as it could have been. Zayak? Okay, I thought he was just going to charge all the way in again. Stop committing your team to these fights. Oh, but with this war, they actually saw Zayak go into these trees, so they know exactly where the Spirit Breaker's hiding. He does get the bulldozer off just in time, but even still does nothing against the Jewel. And that's another kill with the counterpole wave now. So once again, Bait going to be going back up to this high ground. It's Resolution trying to drain as much mana on Watson as he possibly can. But there is actually the buyback available for the Spirit Breakers. They might be alright with this. The Viper Strike already gets committed as well as the BKB from Passion. It looks like Bait have just managed to disengage. They've taken down the set of barracks. Oh, damn, that's a very unfortunately timed disconnect. Charging right in there and then drops. Well, luckily they were on it and went for the pause. But damn, I was not expecting all this to happen in just the space of a couple of minutes. That fight by the tier 2, like, it looked really rough. They got the kill onto Watson when he was on his own. He'd even used his Eclipse just before he died. But then the Illuminate heal plus the press the attack kill coming in, boosting back up. He turned around with the BKB, which I think he just got delivered on the courier as well. And the whole game just got flipped on its head from that situation alone. I mean, look at that. Watson super comfortably at the top. Pretty much 3,300 gold over the top of Resolution. Obviously, the LC and Dendy still lacking behind a fair chunk. Like, quite a fair chunk, really. But even still, I suppose as long as if Watson's having a good time, it doesn't really matter that badly. Especially with SA having the Aghanim Scepter. It was such a good item choice to go for it this game. Like, it just works really well with what they've got in mind. What happens in these fights. Gives them that bit of added protection. And definitely forced a few BKB purchases early on from the side of Hellraisers. Pasha's is already down to 7 seconds. Same with Rebels on 7. I think Watson's on 8. Yeah, his is on 8. I don't think anyone else has bought one yet. Obviously, the LC's got one coming out very soon. Well, I say very soon. He's still about 1,000 gold off. I mean, after they get this kill onto the barracks and a little bit of farming for a couple of minutes, might not be too bad. Might not be too bad. Well, I don't think there's anything that Bait can really do left in the situation. Like, Eclipse is still down, Flesh Golem's still down, no Jewel. They do have the actual Disco Ball, but even still, they pretty much exhausted all their teamfight capabilities. Meanwhile, Hellraisers pretty much have everything left to use. It's just Viper Strike that's down. But obviously, actually, BKB is going to be on cooldown as well. No Rebels is up. So maybe they could try and go for a poke as Bait are going to leave. That's risky. If you try that and you fail, then the game could just pretty much be over. So maybe it's not worth the risk. They should just let him fall back. Accept your losses. Accept the fact that you're now 5k goal behind. Like, this change happened super rapidly. Look at that. It was just steadily going into the lead of Hellraisers. And then that fight happened by the tier 2. And straight up there. Pretty damn unfortunate. This is a very long DC. This is like actual, like, internet in his house died or something? Start the choose up. It's awkward silence, man. Too hard to deal with. I'll take this opportunity. Get a bit of H2O. Got to keep that hydration going. But yeah, if you guys have actually been enjoying the cast so far, then I'm going to use this opportunity to drop in a self-plug. If you can follow me on my Twitch channel and YouTube, any help I get, I thoroughly appreciate it. As long as if you're enjoying it. If you think I'm a piece of shit, then ignore me. But even still, hope you've been liking it. I think this game's about to go because Rezo's just joined back into the lobby. Is it going to go? I guess he's just getting situated for now. Maybe they got to discuss what's actually going on because he probably disconnected when he was like here and his player ran in a little bit. So yeah, they're probably like, okay, what's the game plan? Are we going to take a fight? Are we going to let them run? I definitely think they should let him run, especially seeing how this tombstone's already been placed here from Gatsy. It's just not worth fighting into.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Okay, they're ready? Oh, Bait's ready. Still with decision left to make Hellraisers. It's going to up the power of my fan. It's getting hot in here, boys. Damn. Whee. Are we going to what? Literally, like, Hellraisers aren't saying anything. This is just, like, complete communication silence here. It's just a TP scroll. That one's already delivered. Unless Hellraisers are like waiting for the 5-minute delay. Actually, no, it's a 15-minute delay, so they couldn't even like ghost their own game. Unless they actually watch the official Russian hub stream, in which case then that one is like only 5 minutes behind. So who knows? So Rebel actually is going towards the Octarine core next. Oh wait, Rezo's gone again. Oh my god. What's happening? What is happening? Boys, come on. Pash actually going in for the Ags. Kind of in a... Would that be the correct build, going for the Ags? Mana cost and cooldown, increases cast range. He's looking to spam the Viper Strike. I mean, it can be kind of nice on Dendi, I suppose. But mind you, he doesn't really require his movement speed to be that elusive, just using a lot of his skills. And Watson doesn't really care himself about constantly being slowed up and stuff. Just wants to stand there and right-click away. Not sure what else they could maybe build. Don't know. Is there like any fixed pause time for this tournament? Normally there's an admin where they're like Hellraisers have 5 minutes of pause left. But there's been none of that so far. A lot of map drawing here. Who's that from? LC was drawing up at the top, and I think it was SA drawing at the bottom. I don't know what these game plans are. Maybe he's just getting bored. He's just doodling. I'll doodle as well. The power of the clock. Look, it's ticking. It's ticking, boys. It's taking so long. Good clock, right? Looks like a fucking wheel now. Alright, Rezo's back. Is he actually going to go this time? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Ah! Is there anything else I can evaluate in this bit of downtime? I don't think there is. Actually, I'm kind of interested that Gatsy's got the Brigand's Blades. What other neutrals they got? Oh, okay, I suppose all the other tier 2s are gone. He's not really doing much right-clicking though, is he? I guess maybe he is. I suppose a lot of the time people are focusing on like the Tombstone and the Lunar and stuff, so maybe they're just ignoring the Undying. Don't know. You know, Brigand's Blade actually still in the stash, so the position 5 for the Don, not deciding to go for the Blades. I don't know how I feel about Brigand's Blade, because 7 more damage per 10%. So even if somebody's missing 90% of their HP, it's giving you plus 63 damage against them. Which, I suppose it's good, but then when someone's that low HP, it doesn't really matter how hard you hit him, because you're going to kill him anyway. So really, its effectiveness is only paramount up until about 60%, I would say. So in which case, 42 damage. 40 damage is a pretty chunk, actually, when you're getting that for free. Can't complain too badly. There's still communication silence here. What is going on? You can just tell the side of bait are getting really annoyed. Okay, they're going. Jesus Christ, that was unannounced. Alright. Alright, the game is on, boys. Jesus. And okay, yeah, it looks like bait just disengaged, and yeah, Hellraisers just let him walk on out. There's no reason to try and force a fight there. Let them fall. At least they do get a Tombstone for free. Rezo will take that bonus 200 gold. But now 6k gold advantage for bait. Aegis obviously been used up already. And another 3 minutes 40 seconds before it can potentially be up. So maybe they might just decide to take some farm priority before taking Roche. Actually, they're just going to carry on pushing their advantage while they got it. Watson beating into the tier 2. Obviously, still no glyph available here for Hellraisers. So it looks like they're probably going to end up getting this one for free. Rezo's just going to try and delay this as much as possible with the illusion spam. Whereas everyone else side of the bait just chucking out all the buffs onto him, keeping the aggression going. And now it looks like they're going to ping out the tier 1 at the bot and push out on that lane himself. Rebel was actually down here. And the LC tried guessing the right direction, but ducked in between the trees.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Rezo, yeah, he's still trying to build this heart. He's a big chunk of gold away. 1,000, 2,000, 3,300 gold roughly before he's got that online. So he's still going to be probably about another 4 or 5 minutes of farming up before he's actually going to have that. Unless they take a fight and he gets a few kills, that'll definitely accelerate the timing. But I mean, that is more than enough opportunity for Bait to take down these final exterior towers and to start closing out the game a little bit more, bit by bit. Are they going to push for more? I imagine they should. No reason not to fall back at this point. Just carry on pushing in. It's the Hellraisers. They're going to try and get it tonight here, but immediately LC's on top of there with the jewel onto the Barrow, holding it back. The Disco Balls are pulling in both the sports. Zayat's going to be able to disengage. The left limb lasso was there from the Barrow, but he couldn't get very far. He was held in place. Rebel's super low. He's literally 1 hit away. The LC's the only casualty so far Rebel actually able to survive. And now the Rod of Atos turnaround. Dendy's getting locked down. He does get the Assimilator, so does the actual step away. But the damage, the dot tick, he's got the Owner Shadows on him. It's probably going to be able to keep him alive. Rezo nearly gets a finish there with the Phantom Lance hit. But he's actually able to get out. So Hellraisers, they take a hell of a lot of damage in that engagement. But it's actually only the LC to fall. Which I think they're fine with that. And oh my god.
I hate
Yeah,
life.
I know what you feel, Gatsy. I know, man. I know. It's brutal. Alright, put music. Come back on. I'm expecting this is going to be another 10-minute goddamn pause. This is savage, man. I feel myself aging. Literally. The game started. We get a good, juicy couple of minutes. Well, I say juicy. There it is. Kind of juicy. It was a good fight. Oh, now Watson's gone. Oh, damn. Everyone's going to go. But just as Rezo comes back. I don't know what's happening with the server. Well, even if it is the server, if it's the players, I don't know. Looks like Watson's got his finisher. What? They're pausing. They're missing a play. Even the LC said go. Oh my god. The communication in this game is just crumbling to pieces. Absolute madness. But yeah, I think that's Watson got a finished butterfly coming out. Oh no, he's just got a TP coming out. But he's not got the rest of the battle butterfly queued up, sorry. I'm sure he's going to queue up in a second. But now Watson's back. They look stronger than expected. They might throw a better series. Oh yeah, they're definitely putting up a much better show. Like they've taken a good couple of few fights, and it has been working out quite nicely for them. So I'm happy to see it. It's nice to see Bait actually looking competitive for once, because normally they just get dumpstered. But it is nice. It is nice. Good change of pace.
Blessings
2
upon
bounties
loyal
allows the
warrior.
butterfly to immediately get bored up. So now another power spike here for Watson. Bait going to be looking for a fight. Actually, there's still just another minute here for the potential respawn of Roche. Maybe that's what they're going to be waiting for. Actually, I'm kind of surprised that it's taken this long for Watson to queue up the shard. It's just such a strong shard. Get a free hit, plus it chucks out 2 whacks with glaives. Very strong shard indeed. I mean, it's not like it's going to take him that long to farm it up now. The only thing is, because he's feeling quite confident, not saving up for any sort of buyback, but then exactly the same thing coming out here from Rezo. He's got his Reaver now. 2500 HP. Stab resistance on the S and Y. This man is quite survivable and tanky. But, I mean, that means nothing if he gets hit by a duel. And all of the damage from Bait just collapses on top of him. Aeon Disc actually just get completed up there for Rebel. That's definitely going to help him survive. Bait just got the glimpse into off the side of the smoke. Wow, that's a very, very fast Roshan respawn as well. Look at that timer just fly by. Up in just 7 seconds. Meanwhile, though, they've actually found resolution. It's the perfect grab hit. The silence. One more pull. It just gets the connection onto him, and it allows the LC to get the duel. Rezo, he's dead. He's gone again. Zyak ran in there to try and make some space for him, but he still ended up dying. The Don's borrowed time even ends up getting popped. So another fantastic engagement there for Bait. Just poking and prodding onto Hellraisers. Finding the chinks in their armor. And now Watson just walking straight up to high ground yet again. Obviously, they don't realize that Roshan has literally spawned already. Instead, they're going to use this advantage throughout the PL to actually try and close out another set of barracks. Is that glyph actually going to be forced them to go all the way back? Maybe they might just walk up high ground yet again. And just with the constant press the attack spam. Oh, the jump force there for Rebel. He tried to get the grab. The eldest is going to be there. Finally, he does still get the flame lasso. He's going to try and back the buyback from Zyax as well. The Don take away too much damage. He will fall. Watson, though, he's controlled to the ends of the earth. He still ends up dropping. The LC will fall down as well. Stands his ground a little bit, but he's only going to die in a matter of time. Actually, still alive. Another turnaround. He gets a duel. He actually gets the kill to Pasha. Another disco coming out. Zyax. He's probably going to die as well. The Don falls. Rebel's going to die. How did that happen? The buyback from Pasha. He's got to be careful, though. He can't afford to get caught out here. How the hell did LC survive that? He was abandoned among 4 enemy heroes, but he survives. He gets his heal off. Illuminate comes in, and immediately everybody else jumps in to his aid. And that is definitely a deserved tip. That man just gave them a few extra kills on top of that. Jesus Christ. Dendy actually secures all of them himself. I think, did SA just scout out the Roche? Do they know it's up now? As that will definitely be the main objective when Watson respawns. I mean, Watson died miles before everybody else, and yet he still pretty much has the same sort of respawn time as Rebel. Just sort of shows how far ahead he is. What is his hero level? 22. Only a couple higher than Rebel, though. Which shouldn't be that bad. So Rebel, Rezo getting very, very close to having this hard Taras finished up. Just going to finish up this last little creep camp. I think he thought about selling his wand there, but he's like, nah, there's no point selling that. Better keep hold of it. Now he might actually be able to survive these initiations from Bait and could turn these fights around, because so far he just doesn't survive long enough to actually do anything. He just gets controlled, he gets killed, and then because he's been trying to buy this Heart of Tarrasque for so long, he never actually has enough money for a buyback. Looks like Bait are all sat outside the pit. They realise it's up. But there is a ward for Hellraisers just off this hug, and actually go for a smoke play themselves. The Molotov spots out the fact that Roshan's alive. And they're not going to move into the pit. Maybe they're expecting someone from Bait to step into this mid and they can grab an easy kill. But little do they know that they're all just sat just north of the Roshan pit. Are they going to go in? Zayak, his smoke breaks as well as Rebels charging forwards. He tries to give it the Gret. He gets a lasso grab there onto the LC, but it's not the best target in the world. Also, the PL jumping in, trying to lend a helping hand. Don't take a lot of damage. This borrowed time's going to keep it alive, but the disco balls keep all controlled up. The duel will get dropped there. It looks like this will guarantee the kill onto the Abaddon at least. Dendy just surviving barely himself. That was quite a lot of ultimates committed from both sides for only the Abaddon to die. Oh, but then they get clipped onto Gatsy. There is going to be the 4-star to help him out a little bit. Dendy's still getting just poked at a lot. He doesn't have the opportunity to heal up that much. And it doesn't look like Hellraisers really want to give up this area too much. Well, actually, they found the potential jump hit onto Gatsy. Stuck on the high ground all on his own. I don't think there's anything that Bait can really do to help out. Actually, they do get the Ether End connection there onto the Viper, and then immediate jump forwards there from Dendy. Pasha, he stepped out way too far. He ends up dying. They even get the stun connection onto Resolution. Jules up in 5 seconds. Zayak charging back in, trying to make some space for his carry to get himself out of there. Zayak, though, he's stuck in the creeps. I think Dendy's about to jump on top of him. Oh, he even gets the connection there with the Dissimulate. Guarantees the godlike Rebel. He even gets caught from another duel. He doesn't get the victory. A Disco, it gets connection onto the Don. Resolution is trying to get south, but they're pulled in yet again. He's controlled up. He's going to get hit by another stun. He's got his doppelganger up in a second, but he can't use it. He's dead as well. They're all gone. Every single one of them dead. No buyback. If Bait realised this, they could just end the game right now. They could just go straight for the throne. There's not even a glyph. And yeah, Watson's hitting it. This is it. This is game. Bait, they've actually done it. Incredible. Incredible. I was not expecting this result, but here we are. GG is cool from Hellraisers. They tap out. They were just not prepared from this playstyle with Bait. It was just incredible to watch. Every single time someone was so close to dying, just like the heal, the press the attack, the illuminate, all the saves, it allowed people to get their BKBs off. Just no one could actually die from Bait. Insane. Well played there from them. Very well deserved victory as well. Like, they definitely deserve to take that one. Whew, well, it all just depends if they're able to actually continue on this sort of playstyle. If they can go into game number 2 with the same sort of mentality as this one, I don't think Hellraiser stands a chance. It was so strong. Really good showings. Well played. Game number 3 will be coming up very soon. If you've enjoyed the series of my cast, please think about following me on my Twitch stream or YouTube. Any help I get, I thoroughly appreciate. Makes me feel warm inside, which is very rare. I'm a hollow man. But yeah, hopefully stick around for game number 3, which will be coming up pretty soon. I just got to wait, obviously, for a Dota TV delay, which is sad, but oh well. That's the way the cookie crumbles.